Shivangi, Senior Partnerships Manager at CedCommerce. And in conversation with me today, I have Jonathan Greer, GM of Walmart Marketplace Hardlines. This is actually the first segment of CedCommerce helping sellers grow. So I feel Walmart over the years in the industry has been creating opportunities and bringing value to customers and community all around the globe. And we're glad that with this, it has become one of the most important channels for the sellers, whether it's in brand expansion, whether it's in brand visibility or in brand revenue as well. And I'm glad that CedCommerce and Walmart have been closely associated for over 5 to 6 years now, serving the sellers with our integration solutions. We've been witnessed to the growth. I feel with this session, people and merchants not selling on Walmart will have a lot of questions answered and would probably start approaching towards it. And the sellers already on Walmart Marketplace would have a good level of insight. I think to start with, maybe the seller summit that recently happened was one of the proof of how the sellers have been admiring Walmart Marketplace evolutions, because the emphasis was on massive marketplace opportunities. What do you think was the output overall from that event, and how do you think this evolution journey has been?
Yeah, well, thanks for the opportunity to connect with you, and thanks for your partnership. I mean, the Seller Summit was really an opportunity for us to connect with our sellers. Part of how we differentiate at Walmart is through our partnership and our humanity. And so that was really an opportunity for us to meet face to face with so many of our sellers some of the more recent ones who've come on the platform, but also some that have been with us for such a long time. It was also an opportunity for sellers to hear from our leadership. As we think about putting the overall Walmart muscle behind the marketplace, it's important that people have context and understand where the marketplace fits within our overall strategy. So we had all our senior leadership across the US segment, as well as our global CEO, Doug McMillan, just really come and talk about the importance of the marketplace to our overall business strategy and to how we're going to grow and serve customers better across the e-commerce channels. So very successful event. We're definitely looking at opportunities to do it again. And we've gotten great feedback from sellers as well.
So I did have a couple of questions that we've been receiving quite a lot from the sellers who've been communicating with us and are really interested in getting their maximum success on the Walmart Marketplace. So the first one says, could you share one key best practice that you believe can significantly impact a seller's success on the Walmart platform?
Just one, that's a hard one. But the one best practice that I always encourage sellers to really get to know and master is the listing quality score. It's the bellwether metric that we use at Walmart to really assess from a customer's perspective the quality of the offer. And it's actually the metric that feeds so many of our downstream processes that contribute to a seller's success, most notably search. So search looks at the listing quality score as a key input as it's determining rank and things like that. The listing quality score has got 3 key components: content and discoverability. So that's all around the quality of the content, the images, kind of the core fundamentals. Then we have a metric within listing quality score that's just offer quality. That's really assessing pricing, competitiveness, and in stock. So is my item transactable and consistently in stock? And the last component is ratings and reviews, which we all know is a key driver of customer confidence and a big way that impacts overall conversion rate of a particular listing. So if I were to give you one tip, really get to know the listing quality score, use the insights in Seller Center under growth opportunities. That is one key metric that you need to have a really good grasp on to be successful on Walmart.com.
Right. I think with the things that you've just pointed out, over a decade, do you also feel the analytics part in the entire seller selling programs have increased a lot?
So absolutely. I would say it's a big area of investment for us in terms of how do we provide more data, more transparency to sellers, because sellers want information. They tell us that all the time. They want more data. They want to understand the white space. We are going to continue to give more and more information to sellers to help them understand how to be successful on our platform. We've made a ton of improvements just in terms of how we give assortment analytics, pricing analytics, et cetera. But I think it'll be a continued area of investment for us as we try to improve the seller experience and give our sellers the tools to be successful.
What other recommendations or approaches would you suggest to bolster product visibility and exposure beyond advertising and optimization?
Yeah, so first and foremost, maximize your organic rank. So what I mean by that is get your listing quality score to a good spot, but really analyze and understand your top queries and what renders organically in search as it relates to keywords, product attributes, etc. So get the fundamentals right. I always tell sellers to use WFS or to consider using Walmart fulfillment services for their top head SKUs, because with WFS, you get the Walmart Plus badge, which is an extra boost of confidence for consumers. It also gives you an organic boost in search, which ultimately we've seen sellers up to a 50% increase in conversion while using Walmart fulfillment services. Then if you think about other parts of the value chain, flash deals, which I know we're going to talk about, has been a very fast growing program for us. We know consumers on Walmart.com are looking for value, that right mix of quality and price. The flash deals program, while still early, we're seeing a lot of sellers have a tremendous amount of success with flash deals as a key promotional strategy in terms of how they operate within Walmart. You're going to continue to see new capabilities from our advertising partners from Walmart Connect. They recently launched a new cold start capability, which allows sellers to invest and bid on paid advertising for new SKUs to kind of get some initial sales and get rank going. And lastly, you would have heard at the Seller Summit, we announced brand shops and seller storefronts. We know particularly for brand owners, this is critical to be able to represent and portray your brand on Walmart.com in a way that you're proud of, that's kind of true to the brand. And so you're gonna see us roll that out to general access in the coming months, because we know that's a key way that sellers want to represent their brands, but also drive traffic to the brand shops so consumers get to know the brands and understand them. And so there's not one thing, but I would say it's a combination of various different ways to help drive your organic rank beyond just investing in paid advertising. I think paid advertising has to be part of your strategy. Depending on the product type and category that you operate in, it'll be more or less important depending on how competitive those categories and those keywords are.
I'm very glad you brought this up, because I think in a couple of recent conversations that we've been having with Walmart sellers, Walmart fulfillment services have been really appreciated.
We're going to continue to expand. I think what you can expect from WFS in the future would be a few things. First, we're going to get faster. We know consumer expectations, particularly in certain product types, is that you get things within a day or within hours. And so today we offer national 2-day promise on everything that's sortable. You're going to continue to see our delivery speeds get faster, which ultimately means we're going to be in more buildings, get smarter and more algorithmically driven around how we mirror inventory, put different products in different buildings to help reduce the time to the consumer. You're also going to see us continue to build what I'm going to call product type or category specific capabilities to help address seller needs. And so at the summit, we specifically announced or spoke to multi-box, which allows for someone who's selling patio sets or trampolines or product types where the assortment comes in multiple boxes. We have the capability that we just launched in that space. We're also now accepting big and bulky, which for Walmart is greater than 150 pounds. So if you're in that space, you can leverage WFS for key items in the big and bulky space. And then we're going global. We're building a global marketplace. We want to be the most trusted global partner. So while I have nothing to announce today, you're going to continue to see us expand WFS into new markets, but also with capabilities that help sellers get products into the US faster and more cost effective. We know that's a critical component to the overall value chain. So more to come in that space in the future. But I think WFS is already a pretty meaningful part of our business, and it's a big part of how we're going to grow.
All right, great. Moving on to the third question. What insights can you provide regarding the future expansion plans for Walmart fulfillment services?
I did cover this a bit. What I would say is you're going to, see us get faster in our delivery speeds. You're going to see us continue to build capabilities to help sellers with certain types of assortment or product types, whether that's big and bulky, multi-box, light items, etc. You're going to continue to see more capability there. And then you're going to continue to see the evolution of WFS to support a global vision, both intra and out of the country.
Have programs like SCM, flash pigs, and campaigns positively impacted sellers' product visibility and traction? What advice do you have for sellers looking to benefit from similar opportunities?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say flash deals of the ones you mentioned is probably the most mature and where we've seen greatest seller adoption and greatest seller success. The sellers that are having the most success with flash deals are the ones that are being very intentional around how they use it. Promotions are one toolkit that a seller has to drive exposure and discoverability. Sellers that are using flash deals successfully are planning a quarter out. They're building a promotional calendar. They're also using flash deals as ways to differentiate pricing on Walmart versus other platforms. Because we know, all things considered, we want to give a unique reason for a consumer to transact or convert on Walmart versus other platforms. And so flash deals is one promotional mechanism that allows you to differentiate your pricing. And the flash deals program comes with dedicated homepage placement. We invest many of our marketing dollars across on-site and off-site channels to drive traffic into the flash deals experience. And so we've seen a lot of success with sellers using flash deals. We've also seen a lot of success with sellers using flash deals during key promotional events. So think of your tier 1 events. In July, we launched our first ever Walmart Plus Week. Today, October 9th, we will start our October Deal event. And then we will have multiple events during the holidays, of which flash deals will be a key component to how the consumer shops and looks for deals during those key moments. And so flash deals during key events is also a critical strategy. SEM, we're in the early days of SEM, but we're consistently hearing from our sellers they want more capability and options to drive external traffic to Walmart.com. And so we know, depending on what study you look at, so many consumer searches start on Google. And so the SEM program is really intended to help drive a cost-effective way for sellers to drive external search demand to Walmart.com. You're going to continue to see that program get more mature, both in how it's measured and the ROI associated and the analytics provided for sellers so they can optimize those ad dollars. We always tell sellers for paid advertising, start with sponsored search on Walmart.com, sort of maximize your visibility, your impressions that you can get on your top search keywords. But as you start to saturate sponsored search and you need to look offsite, we know SEM is a key channel that many consumers use. And so it's really a combination of various marketing tactics, which is ultimately helping drive more traffic and exposure for sellers.
Any new key component which you think has been coming up, which the merchants are not aware of yet?
No, nothing key. I would say we're creating more and more opportunities for sellers to participate in our tentpole events. Walmart has historically been the destination for Black Friday and the Big Six. And so we're creating more and more opportunities for our sellers so that we can expose our sellers to the broad selection that our marketplace allows us. Our strategy is to be primary destination for consumers. We have a massive opportunity to migrate our typical omni-channel shopper who comes to us 2-3 times a week for groceries into a much broader selection of general merchandise and the apparel and beauty and personal care and various products and product families. And so the marketplace will play a critical role this holiday in expanding that consideration set and getting into more baskets of our consumers.
Do you have any final thoughts or advice for sellers who aspire to succeed on the Walmart platform?
Now, the biggest piece of advice I would give you is develop a Walmart-specific strategy. What I mean by that is if you think about porting your business on a competitive platform directly to Walmart, you're not going to maximize your success. And so specifically think about unique assortment strategy and product value proposition, whether that's exclusive color variants, bundles, specific product that you're developing for the Walmart consumer and the price points the Walmart consumer is looking for. Think about a differentiated assortment strategy and then really get to know our platform. It doesn't behave exactly like our competitors. It's built specifically for Walmart and the use cases of Walmart. And so make the investment up front to get to know our platform, because I think you're going to see significant results downstream. But the number one piece of advice I give to sellers is develop a Walmart specific strategy, invest specific resources into Walmart. And I think you'll find success.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. It was indeed a very, very productive and completely full of insights conversation. I am so glad we could get on board and get this finally happen.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.